Welcome to episode 7 of The Worst Show Ever. This episode brought to you by Allen Chow. When our Emily starts getting ornery, I reach for a big bag of Allen Chow, made with real mashed potatoes and Lucky Charms, so you're sure to keep her docile for hours. Allen Chow. It's drippin' with gravy to keep your Emily lazy. To my left is the well-dressed and frequently fashionable
Christopher Michael McDonald Suter.
And to his left is the lethargic after consuming 12 pounds of heartwarming Allen Chow.
Half of my daily requirement of Allen Chow is Emily Allen.
So 12 pounds is half of what it takes.
Yeah.
I just expected you to just be like, and to the left.
Oh. Did you get introduced, Paul?
Oh, and this is Paul
to my
Ward
left.
on the microphone, bringing you hot, fresh, sexy
Mic
beats.
check. 1, 2.
So to kick things off, I just wanted to know, because this time apart weighs so heavily on my soul. Where have you been? What have you been doing? Emily.
Emily.
I've just been eating pounds of Allen Chow.
I love that name, Allen Chow.
Allen Chow.
It's good.
Um,
God, it sounds like a cartoon character. Like a Japanese crime fighting, like kids cartoon character, Allen Chow.
Yes. I like that.
kind of like half Caucasian. Half.
Exactly.
Or it sounds like some cheesy
They're trying to
Saturday
appeal
morning,
to everyone.
Saturday morning thing where, like, by day he works in a cafeteria, and by night he fights kung fu.
Yeah, so this week has just been doing all sorts of super secret stuff that can't really
You instantly
talk
go
about.
to your sing-songy talk as soon as you're like, I don't have something written down to say, so I'm making it a song. So it is a song now.
This
Also-
is my bullshit voice.
Also, when you say super secret stuff that no one can know about, that makes it sound like you're a hooker. So
I am not.
You had to really way to keep the secret. No one's on to you.
she is not a whore.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
Wait, do whores get paid? Because maybe.
Michael McDonald's, where have you been and what have you been up to?
I have been
Frequenting the corner that Emily's been working.
Yeah.
Just like throwing up and being like, she gave me crabs!
Or
I
he's
just
just,
Fuck this bitch!
I would just go out there and throw it up and throw you $100 and say, eat it.
or he's that guy that's standing outside of the abortion clinic, like with anti-abortion posters, while you're about to have sex with
What
the
if
prostitute.
What if I
Alan.
drove by the corner, gave you $100 and said, I own you now when I call you and I need a favor.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
That's the end.
Whoa.
So, but then,
Sexual
what is?
or nothing.
I
but-
like the next scene is what I'm more so interested in. Is it
Exactly.
like after that, like she gets a call like 6 years later? You're like, there's a hotel room full of 12 dead dogs.
Exactly.
Come get rid of these dogs.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I also love the idea of never calling her. So she's just always
on
wondering-
edge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Just stays up at night and just wakes up at 3 a.m. like, what does he want?
And I call 10 years later and just breathe into the phone and then hang up.
Yes, just when she started to relax about it.
Yep.
And then finally you do something that's like, I'm gonna need bus fare.
I like to imagine that year, like 7 or 6 years later, when you get the phone call and you go to the hotel room full of 12 dead dogs, that's the night that inspired Allen Chow. And that is Allen Chow.
That's when she saw,
Made
I gotta
real
stop
dead dog
turning
bits.
tricks. I gotta start making pet food
I gotta
for fat people.
Made out of real pets.
Yeah. I mean, I was popping herpes blisters on the daily. I was frequently out of food and very tender from the last night's loving, and then I thought, I need to make a gravy-based adult food. So,
I had a show at this coffee house on Saturday, and there was another guy that played there.
ooh.
And
Chris Suter shares the stage with no man.
it was okay. So he's huge dude. He's like 6'4" maybe, and like just really an enormous, just an overly large person. And he's like, he starts talking to me, and he says, "Yeah, I'm actually the only professional ukulele player from Alaska."
Nice.
And
Okay,
I was
hang
like,
on.
I said, "Okay, well,
That's something.
but what do you really do?"
Not just that, man, but that's really awkward to have to fact check, like, famous ukulele players from Alaska.
Yeah.
What if
And-
he's completely bullshitting you?
He was totally legit. He got up and played the ukulele, and he was like unreal. You can look him up. His name's Ukulele Russ, and the picture on the cover of the CD is him sitting on on just like a picnic table outside, holding his ukulele with a massive bear head on him, like a mascot bear head costume on him.
I like to think that he wandered into the Alaskan wilderness with nothing but his bare hands and ukulele.
I actually have some videos I'll have to show you guys. He was like seriously
He was getting it.
super impressive. He played Eye of the Tiger, and he was like
Oh my god.
he was
that's
playing
so
like the
awesome.
chords and the lead parts like all at the same time, and like doing these sweeps and tapping, and like I didn't know a ukulele could be played that well.
So,
Nice.
It was insane.
Atrium's gonna now include a ukulele player.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
The long
it
and
was
short
so
of it.
so crazy. But yeah,
Just do weird covers like that if it meant that we could have a sweet uke going.
yeah, dude. He was like, really, man. All it's about is finding your niche. And I was like, well, you fucking found it.
Yeah, you did. Alaska uke man.
Yeah.
God, that's cool. All right, so to get down to brass tacks, I've been doing a lot of thinking
Ass tax.
to get down to ass tacks. I've been thinking that the way that we've always posed it is I'm asking you guys questions, and it's in order to get both of the masters' perspectives. So now, getting down to the nitty gritty, I'm going to ask you guys these hard hitting questions individually.
I don't know
And
if I'm ready.
you're not.
Oh.
I'm laying it out right now.
Hey.
We're going to get some hurt feelings, and thankfully we'll have Allen Chow at the ready to fill the holes in our hearts. But and then stuff it full of plaque and fat. But anyway, but in keeping with the theme of the show, it'll be one serious question followed by a worst question ever. So, which of you would like to go first?
I'll rock, paper, scissors you for it.
Oh, fucking do it.
All right. Do you
Wait,
wanna see?
whoever loses goes first or wins goes first?
We're going to say whoever wins goes first.
Okay.
And I'm going to set this up. The representative from Portugal, coming in at 5'3", weighing 387 pounds, Christopher Michael McDonald Suter. And his opponent, the Scandinavian Ice Queen, as she's known, coming in at 711 pounds, wheelchair bound. Some say it gives her an advantage. They haven't made it illegal this season. They're going to Rochambeau, and this is for the title. Can we bring the fists to the ready? It's going to be a 1, 2, 3 shoot. Are you ready?
Is it 1 out of 1?
It's 1 out of 1.
Okay.
For the title, and the belt, and the prize money, with a year's supply of Cheese Whiz, the prize total package comes to $700. For the
Okay.
belt and the championship,
Okay.
on my mark. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, and that
Got
is
me.
it.
Yeah.
Scandinavia takes home the belt.
I liked your method. Stay strong with the scissors.
Yeah. Always stay strong with the scissors.
All right, so Emily,
No
starting
matter
out.
what. I just keep playing scissors.
Portugal,
Hey,
not
girl.
known for its ingenuity. All right, so Emily, starting things off with a serious question. If you could warn a newly starting band, what things would you tell them are the hardest and most unexpected hardships of being in a band?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. I think, I don't know, one of the big things when you're in a band is to really, really find people that are like-minded. You guys will make your music mesh and you'll work it out. But I think that a lot of people are infatuated with the idea of being in a band, but they don't realize how much work it is. And how much of a financial investment it is, and you're not guaranteed to make back 5 cents of the, $2,000 that you put in, or whatever you do. So I think that's definitely a huge one, is make sure that everyone is on the same page. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what music you listen to. Just find people that you're happy and comfortable with, because you're going to be spending an insurmountable amount of time with them. And yeah, and it sucks to be in a situation where you just look at Chris Suter's face and you're like, fucking hate this guy. What
Would
else?
you say that it helps to be poor beforehand so that you're already accustomed to the lifestyle?
No joke. I kind of think that helps. It also gives you a certain
don't have a lot to
reputation.
lose.
When I talk to another band and they're like, we're very hungry and dirty, and they sound totally cool with it, I'm like, you get it.
I remember one of, I used to go to shows and meet bands, and I would always be like, hey, I met, the Academy is, and Mayday Parade, because that was the scene that I was really into. So bands along those lines, I would always ask for advice and say, what would you say is the most helpful advice you could give somebody that's trying to start out in a band, and or trying to take it to the next level? And all of them would say the same thing, like, write the best music that you can. And obviously, don't write shit music, or don't write music that has no personal attachment to you because you just want to get popular, because people can read right through that, hopefully. But I got one piece of advice from, I think it was like Mayday Parade's drummer or their singer, I don't remember. But
Drummer.
Okay, because that's super cool to drop.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I already said that I was talking to this band and I was trying to give credit.
No, it's fine.
No.
No, everyone
All
thinks
right.
you're cool.
Hey,
No, I'm so
ignore
cool.
him. Ignore him. Keep going.
All right, don't doubt my fucking coolness, you little bugger. Yeah, but one of them was like, just get used to eating from the dollar menu at McDonald's, because that is what your life is going to be if you achieve any amount of popularity and you have to tour all the time. It's like, you don't get paid shit. You really have to do it for the love of it. And then later I got advice from another older musician, and it was really about the same thing that I said. I think a lot of people really go for what, we all want to sound like this band, we want to sound like this band, we want to sound like this band. But he just said, he's like, you need to find people that are on the same page as you, that want the same things, that have the same work ethic as you, because you will make a sound that suits you and you will come into your own. And I think that that's one of the cool things, especially about this new EP, is I think the three of us have really come together. We aren't necessarily completely aligned with our musical tastes, but that's what makes it different. That's what makes it unique. And that's, if we all wanted the same thing, we would just be a copycat of another band. So really find people that you can work with a lot.
It takes a lot of respect, too, of each other,
Yeah.
That shows the character. Anyway.
And don't give up, because you live in the modern age, and everyone on the internet is an asshole. And just keep doing what you're doing. Just practice and just keep going. And yeah.
Okay. That answer brought to you by Allen Chow Gravy. Now in cans for that portable gravy flavor. That's cold gravy. Second question.
What was that sound supposed to be?
That was the sound of a hungry Alan eating the Allen Chow.
Okay.
It's not a very...
I like that idea that in the background of the commercial, like there's this clean spokesperson in like a white suit, and in the background Emily is attached to a chain, and she's
Snarling.
But
a
like
pile of
600
crap on the
pounds
floor.
heavier.
Exactly. She loves it.
On a freaking...
She's so happy.
Exactly.
on a choke chain. Like, eating the bowl.
Yeah.
Chewing on the bowl at the
They
end.
have to, like, feed fill up the bowl with, like, a long metal spoon so that they're at a safe distance.
Oh, that is good gravy.
Good gravy.
Good gravy. Oh my goodness.
Good gravy. That's good gravy.
I love that as the tagline. All right, second question. What childhood cartoon world would you exist in, and why? If you could pick any.
Oh man, that
Just
is
the first one that jumps out at you.
That was almost one of my questions.
Really? That's great minds think alike.
It's really funny.
That's hard because the first one that I thought of was Ren and Stimpy, and I think that I would love it for how
It's so chaotic.
messed up that world would be. But maybe I would hate it because of how messed up that world would be.
I think that's one of those things where
fun.
once you hang out in the asylum for long enough, you kind of start blending in and fitting in because your mindset's going to adapt and be like, this is what's normal. Abe Lincoln's head is full of candy corn or cream corn or whatever it was.
It was
Caramel corn.
Yeah, that was
God.
actually, no shit, the thing that I thought of.
I love that episode.
That I would love to live in that world where I could go to the Lincoln Memorial and
Yes.
get caramel corn.
Caramel corn. All right, next question. Emily, if you had your own music label, what type of bands and musicians would you sign?
Ooh, good question.
I know.
That's always been like my long-term goal. I would sign
Christian
a variety.
jazz.
Yes, Christian jazz. I would sign a variety.
Oh God. Ba-dum-dum-dum.
I mean, I think I wouldn't want to
You're
be.
really.
Oh, that's fine. Wow,
That's
you're
fine,
like the
it's
worst
fine.
host ever.
I'm really bad at this.
He's like, let me ask you a question.
But
and
listen
then
to
let
me, I'm
talk
funnier.
over- yeah. Let me talk over it the entire time.
All right, I'll shut the
That's
door
all
down.
right. I would really, obviously my love is rock. So I'd want multiple types of rock bands.
Would you say a certain kind of rock or
was gonna say-
all
All.
rock?
All rock all the time. I don't know, like prog rock and alternative things like that I'm super into. Some post-hardcore.
So you'd get a pretty wide variety.
Yeah,
then.
but a weird part of me also wants pop divas.
You want
So
a pop
I
diva
think
label?
I'd probably have my major label and then my indie subsidiary that has all my cool rock bands that actually are talented. And then I'd have my bitchin' divas.
I love this idea, though, of a crotchety old Emily and these women with huge attitudes and egos coming in, and you just come out and you're like, let me tell you right now, you're nothing.
You know that woman from Beetlejuice? That's their guide in the afterworld?
Yes, that's very similar.
That's me.
Yes.
I'm just gonna chain smoke and drink whiskey. And I'm gonna
and
be
just
like,
tell
"You're
them how it
nothing,
is.
kid.
Exactly.
You
But I
fucked
can
up."
make you a star.
You're gonna have to suck a lot of dicks to get there.
All right. Final question for Emily.
Wait, I just want to say, my label, I just want bands that are talented and real, that are passionate and not just trying to get famous, because fuck those guys.
Do you have a name for your record label?
Suck my dick label.
You could get down with that.
Do you want to get famous?
I'd sign on to suck my dick.
You gotta wanna suck
Here's
the
the
dick.
thing. Even if I had never heard of that label, if I saw Suck My Dick Records, I would at least be like, oh, I'll set up an interview.
The funny thing is thinking about like having a serious conversation with someone like
We think you're a great
We're
fit
getting
for
really-
Suck My Dick.
We think that you can achieve a lot of fame with suck my dick.
we're pretty stoked. We got a serious offer from Suck My Dick. So
We are officially part of the Suck My Dick family.
we're going on the road with all the other dicklets.
Yeah, oh my god. And the tours that they would set up would be like, it's the endless dick sucking summer.
All of the supportive band parents and their band families would wear nice suck my dick t-shirts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Okay. So, final question, Emily.
Final answer for you.
Let's say Chris and I finally push you over the edge one day. I mean, enough.
And you die.
You've heard enough. Yes.
Literally
We push
over
you off
the
a
edge.
cliff,
Yeah.
and you're dead.
End of question.
End of question.
What if
a
that
nice
happened?
thought.
Anyway, so we finally push you over the edge one day,
Fucking be dead.
and you mentally just snap. What new, like, horrifying horror movie style villain would you turn into, and what would be your signature thing? Like, Freddy's got the claws, Jason's got the machete. Emily Allen, when she was pushed too far, turned into this, and this is how she sought revenge, horror movie style.
I think I would go. Oh, man. I mean, what did you guys do that you pushed me so far?
Well, enough times of hearing that you can't run or jump. I mean, to be fair, once you turn into the horror movie villain, it does make it a lot harder to catch us.
Because, well, there's the thing that I'm torn between is, am I going slasher or am I going horror?
You are.
Because if you guys,
You gotta look inside your heart.
well, that's the thing. If
and
you guys
see
just
what it is that
if you guys
want.
just piss me off one too many times, then I'm just gonna like freaking stab you with a butcher knife and be done with it. And then, you know, but that's not really exciting. What I'm
What
thinking,
if you wore like
but if
I'm
you could-
thinking like a creature, like you take half of Chris's face and half of my face and sew them together and wear that and go around with like a cannon.
oh, so I
and
get a
kill
taste for
people.
blood and I'm really into it.
That's
yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
do
You
like the
become a
face mask.
creature. What is your creature? What is your signature?
Oh.
What is your look, your thing? I want you to develop this character of like,
Charizard.
Yes.
she just wears a Charizard costume and kills people and lights them on fire.
I like that. I was gonna say that if we were going horror and you guys did something and pushed me over the edge, like you killed my family and you really warranted a maniacal response, then I'd probably go old boy on you guys. But for that, for slasher, I like your face mask idea, your kind of creature thing. I don't know. I would just really be crazy and live in the woods and eat rodents with my bare hands.
What?
And I don't know.
Why are you
I
eating
just,
field mice?
Because I've got to survive. Got to live off the
But
grid.
you've got to change something about yourself.
Right. You're not just Emily who now eats mice.
And then, I don't know. I think I would develop a taste for
Mice.
sexually promiscuous young teenagers and go like Jason style.
That's a little rapey.
Just kill them all.
This feels
but I'm
like such
making
a new age horror villain that it's not like she has like this signature look or this signature weapon. She just eats mice and kills kids that have sex.
But I want to make my goal, my ultimate goal with this persona is to make an entire skin suit made out of only faces. Because I have
Whoa!
my beautiful
That's
half Chris,
freaky.
half Paul face mask. But I need my ensemble, you know? I need a full thing. So I'm just going to make it out of beautiful teenage faces.
Can we
Nice.
can your horror villain name be Janine? And you have this skin suit, this
Yes,
face
we're going to
suit?
make a French horror movie called Janine.
That sounds like a horror movie title.
Copyright. Trademark.
All right, so moving on to Chris. Are you ready for... you got a little taste of how hard-hitting these questions are
I'm
going to be.
super ready.
Okay, coming at you from every side. So, Chris, your first serious question. Do you think... You tried some of that Allen gravy? Kind of leaves a slight burning on the tongue.
No, it was water.
Oh.
He wouldn't eat that product.
First question. Do you think the huge influx of new bands in the scene is good or bad for it? Basically, like, do you think the increase in numbers makes a starting band seem somewhat disingenuous because you've got so many other things that it can seem faddish, or like, you know, this is just an easy market to kind of pry into?
I think that like no matter what genre or even like time period, like yeah, there are now way more bands than there were in the 80s, but you still have to be talented and unique and get people's attention. And if you can't, then it almost doesn't matter. So I don't think that like...
So you're saying you're going to break through if you've got the talent, whether or not
Yeah, I think it
there are
definitely...
so many others.
It's a little give and take, because I think that because there are more bands, you know, on one hand it is harder to, you know, to be heard, but on the other hand, we're in the age of the internet, so it's now easier than ever to be heard.
Right.
So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of give and take, I think.
Okay. Next question of the hard-hitting questions that I prepared for you guys. What is the most embarrassing bowel movement you've ever had?
Okay. When I was really young, like
19.
I don't know, 12? No, it wasn't 12. It was younger than that. It was maybe 8 or 9. But anyway, we were at the beach, and I basically I was running around the pool, and I just shit myself
Just like that.
out of nowhere. I just shit, and it gets worse. Okay, it fell out of my shorts onto the deck, like beside the pool, and I just ran and left it there.
Oh my god.
You ran away from the problem. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I just left a good pile of Chris dew on the
Oh my god.
on the deck. So that was nice.
That's really pretty.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, next serious question. What are the single best and worst aspects of making music with us?
The best.
I want the worst for the follow-up that you're just like, and the worst aspect is, I'm not in this band anymore. Suitor out.
And he lights it on fire. We all just die in this
Whoa,
room.
this isn't your horror movie yet. You had your turn.
This is Chris's horror movie.
Yeah.
I think like you guys have been kind of the only people that I've been able to write with that are like-minded. That I know that, for the most part, almost anything that we bring to the table is usable, and it's, I know that you have a different style, but our styles are similar enough that I can learn from you, and I feel like you can learn from me, and we all learn from each other, and just kind of pick up things here and there that I think is very similar to our own styles, but just allows me to expand a little bit, like think of things that maybe I wouldn't have thought of. So, but the worst part, that's a tough one. There's so many. I think one thing that I don't like, but it's kind of out of our control, is like, we don't really have the ability to like everyone get together as a band and like just jam on something and write something and see what happens. Like we don't really do that. And
That is a good point. We
and
have
I
a
don't,
different writing process than that.
for sure. Obviously I think that we come out with a good product, but I think that like, I guess maybe that's kind of how I was used to writing before I joined this band. So, but there's upsides to it. Obviously, you can like, rather than just jamming on something because it sounds cool, you can actually pick each thing apart when you're writing it separately. So, but I do wish that there were times where we could just kind of just jam on it and just see what happens. I do think
that's something that in the future that we can evolve toward as just something that is different. Not necessarily the process every time, but something to just be like, and that's something to maybe get a different feel out of it.
Yeah, because it's also, I feel like a lot of times, sometimes you can, like, if you're writing that way, you just kind of start, I guess maybe there's like a vibe that's created, as opposed to like, if I'm just sitting in my living room, writing a guitar part, it's like, I can hear what it would sound like in my head and it sounds cool, but I don't really know. Whereas if we were jamming, I might have played something totally different that just has a really cool vibe because we were all there and we were all in the moment.
Right.
So.
I will say, I do like though when I can get an idea where I'm like, I'm really excited to show you about something. And then if I bring it to you and I'm like, hey, I've got this, I really like this. It's almost every time that you will put something with it. Both of you will put your spin on it. And it's something I would have never thought to add in the way that you do, and it makes it so that I'm always like, if I've, let's say, had this piece in my back pocket for a while even, it gives me a renewed excitement because I'm like, this is something I never would have thought of, and then I get to see it sort of evolve into something that's a little out of my control. And while especially when you're dealing with musicians that have things like ego and everything going into something that's your expression, that can be tough, but you can't help but be like, I'm excited because I don't know exactly. Like this EP, I didn't know exactly what it was going to turn out like on the other side, but it feels so it feels so honest. The end result feels like, yes, this is a perfect representation of all of us. Mm-hmm. So to briefly touch back on Emily, what she started to say, I love this effed up idea that you started on about Chris, like, burning this place down and being like, suit her out. Because I would totally watch this horror movie that's this guy who seems so charming, and he's like, hey, I saw that you guys are looking for a musician, and he gets in really tight with the band, and just when you think that things are going really well, he burns you all alive, and then covered in soot and ashes, he just shows up to somebody else's house and is like, hey, I heard you guys are looking for a drummer. Just the horror movie continues. I would watch, like, Chris Suter 8. Like,
What if I show
Rise
up?
from the ashes.
What if I show up, like, just like you said, covered in the soot and everything from your dead bodies? I show up to a show, and I'm gonna
God.
play, because I feel like that's like the most metal thing you can do. Get on stage with the remains of your dead bandmates.
That is so
dripping from your body.
badass. As fucked up as that is, that's super awesome.
I'm just gonna play my part, so it's just me playing guitar up there, and nobody has any idea what's going on.
You finally get to be the center of attention.
Yeah,
It's my turn.
absolutely.
Stop.
Well, if you're gonna kill us, please take us out like that.
Yeah,
That's super badass.
at least take you out in
All
a
right.
form of glory.
So
At least wear my ashes.
this
Yeah.
this so well segues into my next silly question. If you were going to kill someone, how would you do it, and how would you dispose of the body? I want the Chris Suter signature on this, and this is your last question, so make it a doozy.
Okay, if I'm gonna kill someone,
Yes.
who would it be?
No. Just, how would you do
Like,
it?
can I pick someone?
If it helps you visualize.
And then,
paint
how
you a
would you
picture
dispose of
with
the
color.
body?
And blood.
Yeah.
And semen.
Oh my God.
Someone to semen.
I think, though, it kind of does depend on who it is and why I'm killing them. Is this just I picked you off the street and I'm randomly
Yes,
going to
we're
kill
saying
you?
this is serial killer Chris. This is
Okay.
how you put your mark so that when the FBI shows up, they're like, no, it's Chris. Because he put frozen Capri Sun in their veins.
Yep. Okay.
Dear FBI listening in the year 2025, will you please now turn off this podcast?
And the FBI's sitting there like, okay, she said to turn it off. Gotta comply.
This is off the record.
Yes.
FBI, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Serial
FBI?
killers, you know what I'm talking about.
There was this thing in the in one of the Saw movies that just like caught my attention because it was so like to actually imagine it happening just like
Got
killed
you
me.
so hard.
Yes, where basically this girl, I guess, was like tied up, and they just kept raping her.
You can't sound like a normal person answering this question. You
I know,
immediately turn
I
into
know.
a freak.
So, but they had they basically kept pouring like freezing cold water on her, like buckets of water were just dumping on her, so she was very slowly freezing to death, but in bursts. So it's like cold water, and it's like, oh my god, that's cold as shit, obviously, and then it just keeps happening, and you just keep going into this shock of cold. So, and then slowly, like, the water starts to freeze onto her body, and she just freezes solid. I thought that was pretty raunchy.
For some reason, I really, in my mind,
Jaeger.
I imagined you like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dr. Freeze and being like, ice to meet you. Just your serial killer, just because you love them, would have shitty ice puns all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to think that that's what I would do, but I don't know that I have the
It's not really practical.
exactly. It's kind of
I mean, listen, this is your creative world. I really like that it's so eccentric. Like, the FBI showing up to the second and third, they could be, not for the pun, but warmed up to the idea. But, like,
Yeah.
the first one, they're like, that woman's entrapped in a case of ice. This took a lot of work.
yeah. I mean, as lame as it is to just like take someone else's idea, I think I might like to go somewhere around that route, just because I want to at least make it look like I cared about killing her. You know?
What if you made it so that she, like Paul said, was encapsulated in a large amount of ice, and then you turned it into a beautiful ice sculpture, and she's inside.
Oh, that's
After you froze her
that's
to death.
art. We sound like the
Get
most
into that.
fucked up people.
I could get into that.
Like, bring out, maybe her childhood dream was to be a pony because she was a stupid child. So you make it like
Only
a beautiful...
stupid children want ponies.
Yeah, but you make it like a beautiful ice pony, and she's just inside. Or
I
she's
like
riding
this
the ice
idea.
I
pony.
like that.
This metal band that you were in, where you're covered in
Yeah.
the ashes of your former bandmates, can you call it Ice Horse? Because
Yes.
that is such a metal band name.
Yes.
I like
Ice
that.
Horse. All right, so turning it over now to the infamous, the malicious, the rapid weight gaining Emily Allen.
Because food is so delicious.
Yes.
Yes. So now I'm gonna ask you guys some questions, and I thought about having my my wonderful talk show host voice, but I'm not really good at voices.
Wait.
So
Can we please get a taste of your talk show host voice?
no.
It's very rare that we get an Allen impersonation.
Yeah.
but
Why
they
would
are
you? Why would you
gold.
just dangle that in front of us?
You would tease us like that and then not give just a taste.
No, I'm sorry. Not tonight. Not tonight, boys.
Oh wow.
Not even for Douglas.
Sorry, Douglas. Private message me, bud. DM. Okay, so who wants to go first? Rock, paper,
Well,
scissors.
I just went, so Paul should go first.
Fine.
I think.
Way to be logical. Paul! Question number 1. You have a time machine and you can travel to any time, but you cannot travel back. Where do you go and why? You also have to go somewhere.
The future.
Okay.
6 billion
But
years.
There is something that is incredibly tempting about going to like the absurd future. Just because, like, I would get there and, like, the Earth is just covered in cardboard boxes and I have to figure out how it got to this point.
I love the idea of you just going to, like, June of this
That's
year.
what I was kind of thinking of, making it really lame like that. It's, one quick question. When I travel to this time period, do I get to see myself at that time period if I'm still around?
So you just get to hang with yourself?
I guess. It depends on what kind of theory of time travel that you
It's
believe in, where you can't have, like, more than
You're
one in
making
the
the
same
rules.
thing.
Yes, it's you're making the rules, but that's the thing is I kind of wanted to see if I would take the role of who I was at that time, or if I would see myself as this other entity and coincide with it.
I don't know. It's
So
hard.
we're assuming you're going to the past then.
I want to say no. He wants to go to the future, but I want to say yes. Like, you could travel 50 years in the future and see your older self, but then how would yourself be in that future timeline if you now
You
traveled?
are making the rules of this universe. You can
Well, I'm
make
just
it that
saying
it's okay.
it
Well,
depends
that's
on.
kind of what I was assuming. It's like it doesn't really make sense that you would be there
You're
if you're going to
gone.
the future.
Okay, so I'm not there.
Maybe in a parallel timeline you're there. but-
Okay, no, we'll say that I'm not there. That's
Okay.
that's fine. Okay, then I would probably end up going to, I'd put it right around like 2070 or so, because old Paul is probably just going to be the most hateful, really disgusting, vulgar old man that just yells things at children and hits them, but is like not going to get in trouble because he's so old.
Take your belt off!
Wait,
Exactly.
I thought we decided.
Go to the yard and get a switch.
But
Grandpa, that's the dog. Tell him to get the switch.
old Paul isn't going to be there. Remember, if you now are
Am
traveling.
I not
into the-
embodying? I thought I would get to like.
No, you
I'm
are
the
you.
same age.
Yeah, you're just time
I'm
traveling.
still
I
gonna
feel
go
like this
there.
is way too complicated.
Nope, it's fine.
No.
I'm gonna go there and dress up like an old person and pretend to be old Paul, and people can
Okay.
even ask, "Where have you been for the past 50 some odd years?" And they're just gonna have to
You're
deal
just gonna
with it.
say, you're just gonna look off in the distance and say, around.
Yes. And you can't question an old man like that. Or I'd look off into the distance and say, "The war took more than expected." Hit me
Thanks.
with your best shot.
Okay.
Why don't you?
Fire away!
If you could have the appendage of another animal, what would you have and why?
Walrus penis.
That's gonna go, dick.
That would be so uncomfortable.
that would be so weird.
Because it has a bone in it, so it's
Yeah.
just always
I'm
huge.
Well, it's bigger than Paul. So
I'm stuck with this
They've got a 7-foot wiener.
forever. Right?
Yeah. It's yours.
Yeah.
is it replacing an appendage of his? Or
I mean, it depends on what it is. If he chose wings, he wouldn't be replacing his wings.
might be replacing his.
But I mean, if he
Arms.
like if you chose, monkey paws, then you would be replacing your hands with monkey paws.
Okay.
You don't just get extra paws.
I would replace
Menopause.
my arms with gorilla arms. I would be so absurdly strong. And my forearms would be so amazingly impressive that I could just pick people up by their head and throw them off.
So the fact that you said gorilla arms, does this mean you're still gonna have paw hands?
No, the full arms. The full arms with hands attached.
I would love
I
that.
would
He's
too.
just got these hands that can't support the
So
strength of the arms.
disproportionately
Yeah.
small.
God, that's awesome.
He tries to like slam his arms down, his
Ow.
fist down, and it shatters his fucking hand.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Especially because I could get them waxed, and I would just look like this absurd creature.
Okay. So in the future, there may be genetic alterations that you can make to your child in utero. If you could change your unborn child's genetic makeup to ensure that they would live to an age that is significantly past their current life expectancy, would you?
No, I'm gonna outlive my child. I win.
I'm gonna eat the child.
I win.
Okay. All right. Last question. It's 3 a.m. in the morning, and you awaken from a trance-like state in a room full of dead bodies covered in blood. What do you do?
We sound like the most psychotic band.
Why did we all go with murder? Why did we all take it there?
So what did I do?
You are in a predicament where you have
Oh, what
kind
do
of,
I do?
Yeah, you kind of are browning out, and in your moment of clarity, you are in a room full of dead bodies, and you are clearly covered in blood.
Okay. To wrap everything together here, I'm going to go ahead and get my amazing gorilla arms to help me quickly disembowel these bodies with my gorilla arms, tear them limb from limb, hide them in the trees where I now live for the rest of my life as the ape man. And I will later take on the real-life Bigfoot with occasional sightings, but I will take to the woods and live out the rest of my days there until I see a future where I am a crotchety old gorilla-armed man covered in a world that only has boxes, because I've outlived all of my children.
And 2015, Paul randomly shows up, and then you decapitate him in a fit of rage.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. makes
I
sense.
win.
Okay. Fantastic. Not really sure how that, if that was...
It makes sense, if you
Yeah.
think about it.
Okay, no. I'm there. I've got the vision.
Mhm.
Okay. Chris,
Yeah.
Let
ready?
those who defy my
so
logic
ready.
feel the wrath of my gorilla arms.
Do you have a superhero name with your gorilla arms?
Rilla.
It sucks.
I call myself Al Gorilla.
all right, Chris,
What?
chicken butt. Why? Chicken butt pie. If you could make an incredible living as an audio engineer / producer, but have to sacrifice your life as a musician, or only make a mediocre salary as a musician for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
I actually had this conversation with Sandy the other day. I would choose to be a musician only because if I'm afraid that if I am sitting in front of a desk doing nothing but mixing and editing music for the rest of my life, I'm going to start to hate music. The last thing I'm going to do when I get in my car is put on music,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to want to hear music anymore, and that would suck.
Yeah.
I would rather get bored with playing music but still enjoy listening to music than just hate music altogether.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about watching people...
Fulfill their dreams.
Yeah, exactly, that you gave up on so you
And
could do something
somewhat
else.
living vicariously through it to help them along.
Exactly. All right. If you were a color, what would you taste like?
Um,
Hard-hitting question.
I feel like I feel like I would probably taste.
You need to drink some paint to get in the
I would
texture of
taste-
this.
I imagine I would taste a lot like things that I very frequently consume. So I'm gonna go with.
Ooh.
Semen.
I'm gonna go with a mixture of bananas, eggs, and rum and coke.
Oh my god, that's gross.
So is that not the worst jelly bean you've ever had?
Yes.
You could be like a rum cake.
You know what
with
that
those
sounds like?
ingredients.
That
Maybe
sounds-
banana rum cake.
It would suck.
That sounds like
But it's
I
on.
threw up after my hungover breakfast.
But it's not just those three flavors. It's those three flavors mixed with like my natural body,
Skin.
like
People.
my natural body, I guess, taste and scent.
Mm.
So that's just. It's not going to be a good day.
You sound
It actually,
delicious.
that concoction that you said, that makes up 43% of all Allen Chow bags.
Just the bags, not the actual food.
No, that'd be silly.
The remaining 57% is dead dog.
That's not cool.
That's really fucked up.
We'll stop killing the dogs and we wouldn't have to put them in the chow. All right.
Ciao.
Chris. Chow.
Ciao.
What inspired you to become a musician?
I almost asked the same question.
And then you thought of a better one.
I actually think that it was my dad, because he used to be a drummer, and I just, I guess as a young boy, you kind of, you want to follow in your dad's footsteps, and you want to be like your dad, and he played drums, so I wanted to play drums, and that was about it.
That's interesting.
Cool. So then drums, that was the first thing that you got into.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
wear shirts for the same reason.
That's weird, because most of the time when I was at your house, your dad was not wearing a shirt.
That
That is
is
a good
true.
point. He does prefer to be in the nude.
He only wore shirts on his lower half.
That's right. He wears them upside down, and his balls are just kind of hanging out of the neck hole.
Just another day at the Ward house.
Yep.
All right. Chris, if you could naturally have any other accent, which one would you want? And please try to demonstrate this accent.
Ah, yes.
I think the Australian accent is the shit. I
Good
freaking
choice.
love it. Yeah.
Can we
Alright.
hang out with Aussie Chris for a second?
It's a tough one.
Take us to the land down under.
I don't know what to say.
Chris, could you tell us about the dingo problem in your backyard? What did the dingoes do to your backyard?
So many holes. Just digging tunnels. God, it's so hard.
No, they're like ants. There's just this system of tunnels, and dingoes are. Those tunnels
It's a
are
community
huge.
under the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your house hasn't collapsed from the series of tunnels underneath of it?
Well, it's not under the house. I can't do a fucking
You sound
Australian
like
accent.
Christopher Walken
I
trying to
can't
do
do-
it in Australian
because-
Under
accent.
the house.
because
The
it's like
dingoes.
there are some words that I can do pretty well, but then there are a lot of words where it's like I don't know whether that's British or Australian.
Let's do this. Rapid fire. I'm going to give you like 5 words. Say the same word I do, but in an Australian accent. We'll start easy.
Okay.
Say outback.
Outback.
That was good. Say lizard.
Lizard.
Say Felicia Day.
Felicia Day.
Say kitty swimming pool.
Kitty swimming pool.
Say old dried up tampon.
Old dried up tampon.
That was good. Bravo.
Thanks.
A fine performance.
To be fair, you said 5 words,
I did.
and that was like 15 words.
I had to put you through the ringer. These are
Yeah.
the tough questions. That was a question.
All right.
Is that all we got?
You guys are done.
She's all
Okay.
dried up.
All right, moving on then. Rock, paper, scissors for who goes first.
Best 1 out of 1.
Mm-hmm. Best. Yeah, just do 1 out of 1.
What were you gonna say? Best 99.
I was just gonna make it, I don't know, like 5 out of 9,
That's annoying.
just to be annoying.
Yeah. Ready? The spitting on your hand doesn't do anything.
On my
Makes
count.
my
Silence in the studio. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Why are you staring at my hand so intently, you cheater? You're cheating.
Oh, stop it.
Cheating.
That's a butthead loser.
And Paul Ward is the winner. And glitter rains from the scene.
He's doing a very quiet victory lap.
Okay.
The crowd is a little bit moved.
Okay.
The crowd has laryngitis.
Here's the thing. I have no serious questions for you, Paul.
Good.
I have one.
Emily didn't seem to have a serious question for me either.
I have one for Emily, but for you, I got nothing. So,
There seems to be a theme here.
question number 1.
Hang on. I have no rebuttal.
What if she was
You're
like,
right.
hang on, now continue.
Paul, what does love got to do with it?
Everything and nothing.
It's vague enough.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay.
That shit kind of question's gonna get that level of shit answer.
Paul, there's a movement that is being created where they are building the budget and starting to get together the resources to push the continents back together and bring back Pangea.
Thank goodness.
As you know, in a way, I guess, for us to get back to our roots.
Mm-hmm.
Are you for this idea or against it?
I'm all for bringing the people together and then continuing the movement until we all are literally forcibly compact together so that we can truly be united as one lifeless cube.
That's good. All right.
Like in that movie.
I feel
The
like
Cube.
that's the ultimate transcendence.
Okay. Let's see.
Is that really a thing?
I'm pushing. Emily, shut up.
What?
That cannot be.
No.
Well, you had that whole flat earthers thing, so I thought maybe you just get into these really weird kind of cult
I could
things.
see where maybe some really unintelligent people
know what's
might
so
think
dumb?
that could
The
happen.
I
way
was
that
like,
I
you
thought
cannot
about-
change the earth.
The way that I thought about
It's a
people
goddamn earth.
getting this done was the most like backward ass way. Like a lot of people on the coastline wearing like floaties on their arms and just pedaling as hard as they could and pushing on the sand like one country, one people for Pangea.
But the way that I have it written down here, I should have just read it like this. It says, Paul, Pangea, for it or against it?
All for it, but taking it to the extreme, dog.
Okay. All right, Paul. You gotta fuck one, kill one, and marry one.
All right.
Andy Dick, Burt Reynolds,
Okay.
or Mr. Slugworth.
From the Willy Wonka. Okay.
We gotta fuck Mr. Slugworth.
No, I'm gonna kill Mr. Slugworth because he's a conniving shit. Like he was in on it from the whole get-go, and that's just rude. So I'm gonna kill Slugworth, dead in his tracks. Take his candy and sell that secret to the world. I don't need the keys to your fucking candy shop. I'm fucking rich. Come on. How could you not? I'm gonna fuck Burt Reynolds.
You're gonna marry Andy Dick?
That's what I was thinking.
Dude, if
My
anything...
life would be just a
Awful.
barrel of laughs.
God.
I'm gonna rule the cubed Pangea with my queen, Andy Dick.
That's beautiful.
Paul! Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love that.
I got poop on my tongue again.
Okay.
Yes,
that's-
my queen. Anything you desire. That was brilliant.
I've got one other one that I can pose to you. If you were an 80s band, what would you be? What band would you be?
What was that name you had? Ice Horse?
No, he's talking about a real band.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
What
already
band
exists.
is you?
I would definitely be Devo.
Yeah?
Yeah, dog.
Why?
Because if left to my own devices, here's the thing. I am so grateful to be in a band with you guys because you ground me. I think about things that
But
are
I
just
fucking
like...
hate you guys.
No, I love working with you guys. But if left to my own devices, I would take it to this internal extreme with everything. I would overthink it and be like, the guitar tones, have to match the feeling that I got when I stood in this field in Iceland. It would just get to the absurd, and I would be like, and we have to dress up like geese because there's nothing that's more effortless and beautiful. Anyway, and I would take it to in my mind, what's this very deep extreme, when in reality, it's this hysterically strange form of pop that would come out on the other side. Like, I just feel like Devo has that thing where people are kind of like, what are they thinking? But if you take half a step back, you're like, that's kind of fucking ridiculous. So
and here I was
feel
expecting
like
space jazz.
Oh, L. Ron Hubbard space jazz.
Yeah.
That's pretty good actually. But yeah, I think Devo. I think something that's very off the wall and just kind of silly, and you're not really sure where it's all coming from.
Okay.
Crack that whip.
All right. Moving on to Emily Allen.
I like that. You be the skip it song.
Um,
Oh, I don't know. I thought. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Whip it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm
Skip it.
It's clearly not the right song.
After my Devo operation tanked, I invented the skip it.
all right, Emily.
I love
First question.
skip-its.
The very best thing of all is that there's a counter on this ball.
First question. What's up?
My blood pressure.
That Allen Chow would
It'll get you every
clog every
time.
artery.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, okay, if that's your answer. If that's what you want to be remembered as. Whatever.
No. What's up is my dick.
Okay, so I have one serious question for you. Emily Allen. If you could be in any other band, what band would you be in?
Oh man.
And keep it realistic.
Are they?
Because you just can't be in Bring Me the Horizon.
Hang on.
Come on.
So
'Cause
it has to be another band that she would think that she could fit in well with.
Yes.
I could be their bass player. No, I couldn't.
You could-
No, I couldn't. I could. Yeah, I'm
You
not.
could play their
I'm not
samples.
as talented as any of those people. No, I couldn't.
No, because it would be like, okay, now next play the sample that's to the left, and Emily would be like,
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Is it a band that's currently together, or if I could
No.
be
Any band ever. Ever.
ever?
Yeah.
What's the most famous band that has ever been? But something that I'd really like to be a part of. Shit, because I'm thinking of what I
Devo.
like. Yes, Devo. Paul and I are bringing back Devo. It's hard because I there's so many things to think about because there's obviously there are bands that I really like the sound of, but I don't know that I would necessarily want to be in that band because I don't think that I would really like to work with those people. I think it would probably ruin the band for me. Oh shit! I know what I'd want to be in. I want to be in the freaking Foo Fighters because I bet that they are so awesome. And I'd be like, I'll do whatever you guys want.
Whoa.
I'm getting,
Welcome to Suck My Dick Records.
I'm getting deep in that taint, Dave Grohl. No, I think that would be a freaking blast and a half, and I wouldn't care if he would re-record everything that I ever did. Be like, you go for it, and I will do my best to do it well live for you, bud.
Okay.
I think that would be fun.
I can get down with that. Emily Allen, what is your middle name?
Fuck you, Chris.
Emily, fuck you, Chris Allen.
That's a long name. It's weird. It's like your mom knew.
Until recently, I thought my middle name was Janine, but it's not. It is Janine, and it turns out that that's what my dad named me, was Emily Janine Allen. So, yeah.
So if
Beautiful,
you
really.
listen to the remastered version of Alive, it will now sound like what I'll do to feel
Yeah,
alive.
he wanted, I guess, like, I don't know, he really liked French names, so I don't know why he went with Emily, because that's an English name. I don't know. My brother has a beautiful name. His name is Pierce Edmund Allen. Sorry, Pierce. I don't know if you wanted that out in the world, but it's there now. But yeah, I think I kind of got dogged. It's just so pompous.
It's very strange.
It's,
because
I
it's
guess
Emily and Allen.
I know.
And then
Very
And then
American.
Janine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if I had some fabulous name, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't.
Fabrizio.
Yes. Emily Fabrizio Allen. I would love that.
Or if I was Fabrizio Janine. And then
Ugh.
something.
That
Just-
would be fantastic.
I just need-
Fabrizio
Alan. But you gotta keep Alan.
Yeah.
That's surname.
Yeah,
So we're-
absolutely.
Rockin'.
Fabrizio Allen. That's beautiful.
All right.
Son of a bitch.
All right, Emily. You gotta fuck one, kill one, marry one.
Nice.
Tara Reid,
Oh. I'm not fucking that.
Paris Hilton,
Oh my god!
Keep them going.
or Helga from Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna fuck Helga. Because I'm not contracting shit.
Okay, well
She's-
that's illegal.
Okay.
Yeah,
little
you're going
weird.
to jail for that.
I don't give
unibrow.
a fuck, man, because...
Ooh, now we know. Emily Allen
is she a
has
child?
nothing.
Is she 8 years old?
She's 9. She's
Yeah.
in 4th grade.
Oh, 9? Oh, dude, I can't fuck a 9-year-old. So I guess I have to... Oh,
She's
God.
gotta be at least 12.
I can't marry her either because she's not old enough to get married.
So you gotta kill Helga.
You gotta kill
I
a
don't
child.
want to kill her.
To be fair,
But either way.
she's a little brat.
But like, honestly, to be fair, murder is illegal. So it's not like
But I'm not a pedophile.
the laws in this.
Okay, it's also a cartoon character. You don't have to be
Yeah,
so...
the
we're not gonna
laws-
think you're some sick freak.
In this make-believe world, the laws do not exist.
Okay, well,
So-
in my make-believe world, Helga is now 18, so I'm gonna fuck Helga.
She does have those pigtails.
Yeah, but I feel like
Do you
she's...
think that she would be like... Move it, football head.
She would probably be so pressed on my freaking junk. She would be.
She would make a
she
gum
would be
statue
that,
of you.
Yeah, man, she would be so crazy. I would have to change my phone number and my address and erase my social media, and she would.
She would be super
I know
needy.
what I'm getting into with Helga. I know that she would. She would never let it go that we had sex, but, I'm not fucking those other two. So I would marry. Oh God. I feel like Tara Reid's personality is probably better. So do I marry for love or money? I'm gonna go money. I'm marrying Paris Hilton. That's hot.
I think you made the right decision here. That's the Hilton family
Yeah.
right there. You're gonna be living a life of pain but luxury, dude.
We'll have one of those like olden royal marriages where we live in two separate castles and we only come together to procreate.
That,
So
what? How do you explain to me how procreating with Paris Hilton works?
This is our own imaginary world. Laws don't exist.
well, I'm not
That's
having
right.
sex with
How
her.
the Patakis
Genders
Hey.
don't exist.
It's
true.
a new day. It's a new era. We
Yep.
can. I mean, we're gonna have in vitro fertilization with Miss
And I'm
Hilton.
feeling good.
She'll carry some seed, and I'll be like, they're there, and then I'm gonna have to kill you, Tara Reid. I'm sorry.
I like this idea that Emily and Paris Hilton procreate like fish. Where Paris Hilton just like squats on the floor of a Hilton like of
And
their
then
like
come
main
over
lobby and just squirts out these giant eggs and it's like ah, and then Emily just comes over and comes on them real quick.
Fertilize them.
And then she scoops
And then
them
I
like
eat them.
behind a chair to be like, no one get these eggs. I've hidden these very well.
All right.
And then small slimy Emily's mixed with Paris Hilton's are like ah, and crawl out of the Hilton lobby.
All right, eat all of my eggs, and
That would-
Paris has to come up and like nip at me and be like, no.
That would be an interesting looking youngling. Paris Hilton
Not
and
the
Emily Allen.
younglings.
Yeah.
We should let those younglings drown.
Yeah, maybe. They might be the worst kids ever.
Holy shit.
All right, so bringing back to the traditional format, I have something that I wanted to get the expert's opinion on because this is one that I've been kind of toying with in my mind, and I have to come to the experts in order to gain some clarity, some peace of mind. So this hard-hitting question is for the both of you to discuss. Who would you rather live with for 30 days? Fred Durst or Vanilla Ice?
Fred Durst.
Whoa, right off the bat, Fred Durst.
Fred Durst.
I think,
I know I'd have a
unless
better
you guys can
time
give
with
me
Vanilla Ice.
compelling evidence, I would much rather live with Vanilla Ice.
Okay.
It would never get old to be like, go ninja, go.
I would do Fred Durst too,
Yeah,
for sure.
you know how
What?
you know how crazy those 30 days would be? Even if you hated him. First of all, like I was obsessed with Limp Bizkit, so I'm sure that's probably your reasoning as well, Chris. But I
Nope.
think it would be
But Vanilla Ice
crazy
met
party.
the Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
But like I guess my reasoning is like Fred Durst is, I mean, he obviously thinks he's awesome, but he like, I feel like Vanilla Ice is gonna like, he's gonna be such a douche and just think that he's a has-been that would still think that he is the bomb.
He's a pro wrestler now, dude.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's not cool.
It's
not.
He would
than
just be
nothing.
such a weird character to hang out with.
So would Fred Durst. He would be
No,
way weirder.
undoubtedly. But I just have this feeling that Vanilla Ice, when like he was on all those reality TV shows, and he just seemed like the guy that was like, the way it came across was he was like, "Yep, I know, I was just a huge piece of shit, and now I have to act like a normal, far less big piece of shit."
He has an enormous temper, though.
Oh, I don't doubt it, man. But you don't think Fred Durst does?
Fred Durst is probably too high or drunk to have a temper.
I think
all the time.
I think Fred Durst might kill me within these 30 days. Because
Fred-
I'd be like,
That's a good point. If either of them was going to kill you, it would be Fred Durst.
oh yeah.
For sure.
Because
Yeah.
I would just,
The coke
I would
would run
parody.
dry, and the rage would come out.
I would just like scream Limp Bizkit lyrics at him in my fake Fred Durst voice. I'd be
All
like,
the
keep
time.
rolling.
He would
Yeah, he would.
hate you.
He would
God.
kill me so hard,
Shit.
but I would die happy.
You would-
And I'd be like, "You gonna break my fucking face tonight?"
I imagine him trying to sleep off a hangover, and you bust in the room in a white wife beater and a backwards red hat, just be like, "I'm on the fucking chainsaw!" and rev a fucking chainsaw.
I skin your ass raw.
No.
Or I make him some bacon and eggs to help with his hangover, and I'd be like, "So I know you'll be loving this shit right here."
Yeah. Or no, you'd make him hot dog flavored water.
Yo, chocolate starfish.
Shit. I just pictured you throwing his dog off the balcony. If only we could fly!
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time. Just throw things just to be able to say it.
Yes.
And then maybe every once in a while we get a little bit deep, and it's behind blue
I
eyes.
do think for the jokes that you guys should live with the Durst, but I'm sticking with the Ice baby.
Oh man.
Yep. Maybe you can show me some of his sweet
What
dance
if
moves.
Fred Durst...
Or what if he still had all of his clothes from the 90s? Those dumb parachute pants. I would try on all of Vanilla Ice's clothes.
at the same time?
Yes.
What if, like, the Fred Durst that we know is really like a facade, and he's actually a very well-mannered, well-spoken, like prince among men?
I'll be honest, I would be so disappointed.
You know that the guy from Limp Bizkit that painted his skin black?
Something Warland, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He is super normal.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him on a show where, okay, this isn't really the right context to say that he was normal, but somebody was trying to collect weird misshapen heads, and he had some skulls, so they were going over to buy his weird, like, Aborigine skulls.
Yeah.
Anyway, but besides the weird collection of freak skulls, he had, I shouldn't say freak skulls. Anyway, he was super normal, and I was like, man, I would not have pegged you to be such a chill dude. So, yeah,
Okay,
maybe Fred Durst is normal.
he might be.
We will see. I mean, it's gonna happen now.
Well, yeah.
You guys are gonna get the invite. It's like
Dear Fred Durst.
the golden ticket.
God, that's a reality show.
For sure.
30
Fred
days,
Durst as
30
Willy
days with the
Wonka.
biscuit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And it's still little kids that have to come.
Oh my God, the
And he's
amount
just
of
dressed in a
biscuits that
purple
I would
suit.
make Fred Durst.
Would you
All-
ejaculate on all of them
For
and call them
everything.
all Limp Bizkits?
No, I wouldn't. That's gross and unsanitary.
Okay, well.
Do we want to close this thing out?
I think we're ready to
We're
riggedy
ready
wrap
to
this
fly!
up.
Well, I mean,
We're rolling.
I guess
out.
it's that time then for poetic poetry.
Oh, closing it off always on the classiest of notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So this song has a lot of N words in it. So I'm going to replace the N word with Do you guys have any suggestions?
Cracker.
Okay.
Um,
I wanted to go with something a little more
Yeah.
abstract, like groundhog.
Groundhog.
Groundhog is much better.
Groundhog.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me get into character. This is gonna be so much funnier being groundhogs. Groundhogs want to try. Groundhogs want to lie. Then groundhogs wonder why. Groundhogs want to die. All I know is pain. All I feel is rain. How can I maintain this mad shit on my brain? I resort to violence. My groundhogs move in silence. Like you don't know what our style is. New York groundhogs, the wildest. My groundhogs is with it. You want it? Come and get it. Took it, then we split it. You fucking right. We did it. What the fuck are you gonna do when we run up on you? Fucking with the wrong crew. Don't know what we going through. I'ma have to show groundhogs how easily we blow groundhogs. When you find out there's some more groundhogs that's running with your groundhogs, nothing we can't handle. Break it up and dismantle. Light it up like a candle. Just 'cause I can't stand you, put my shit on tapes like you bustin' grapes. Think you holding weight? Then you haven't met the apes. Stop. Drop.
Oh, no way!
Shut 'em down. Open up shop. Oh no. That's how Rough Riders roll.
Oh my gosh.
That was nice.
Stop! Stop! Way better to imagine these thug as fuck groundhogs.
There's
Like big puffy jackets and like Yankee hats just sitting around like,
just
yeah,
groundhogging.
chilling in the studio, smoking fat blunts, rolling into the club as a pack of groundhogs. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to the worst show ever. We appreciate it so much. Please send any comments, suggestions, or questions to the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/atriumva. We are
But
the
guys,
worst show
please-
ever in Atrium.
Please try to cut down on the nudes. I know that you think it's a good gesture, but it's really getting old.
You know what? Just make them your profile pics instead. And we are out.